going on, Jerome's Minnesota Vikings defense coordinator Brian Flores has come in and completely changed the game on that side of the ball, the Vikings over the last 2 years. He's bringing the heat as well as Hargrave and Jonathan Allen this year. It's going to be fantastic. So thank you so much for saving us from Donashell, delivering us from evil. For thine is the defense, the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. All right, so the defense in 2024, fifth in points allowed, number one in turnovers, number one on fourth down, number one blitzing, number five pressure rate, tied for fourth in sacks, and a partridge in a pear tree. And it's got to admit, it's getting better. It's getting better all the time. So the Vikings probably won't have to blitz as much this year. I think that getting pressure with four is greatly going to help out that secondary. And Diamond Dallas turned to year two, another year of AVG and Grenard. Woo, baby, going to have us do going on that side of the ball. And I truly do believe that with J.J. McCarthy, Kevin O'Connell's offense, and Brian Flores' defense, that this it's going to end up in a Super Bowl, right? Because D-Unit. That's right. Long story longer. So Brian Flores is in a contract year. Now, the Vikings contracts have been done over the season. So head coach Kevin O'Connell right away. GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah taken care of. Wes Phillips, OC of the Vikings, extended by 1 year through 2026. But Brian Flores still just hanging out. Purple persuasion. Could Vikings DC Brian Flores be on the move after the season? The way Ben Gesson crafts his response is interesting. It doesn't sound like an extension is imminent, and even floated an idea that Flores could decide to test the market after this season. Quote, Brian Flores is in a contract year. There is interest in an extension from the team. I will be curious to see if Flores decides to sign something or if he tries to test the market. Now, by test the market, it would be for other defensive coordinator jobs because the Vikings can't block him from taking a head coaching job. He interviewed for 3 this last offseason, and I'm sure he'll get many more interviews this time around. But say that he doesn't get offered a head coaching job next hiring cycle. Could he go to somewhere else and start all over, right? And there's a couple things here. Number one, well, first off, I think that Flores would stay if he doesn't get another head coaching job, but there's a couple reasons to keep his options open because, like we said, he could leave for any head coaching job, so this does not impact that. Once they could sign Flores to a 17-year, a bajillion-dollar contract with $5 million guaranteed, and he could still just leave. Right, because they can't block an elevation of a position. But it keeps defensive coordinator options open because if he doesn't get a head coaching job, maybe Flores just takes a defense coordinator job for a team that could be vulnerable, right? So I do expect Brian Daboll to be fired after the season. But the Giants, we've said the Giants would be a perfect job for a guy like Brian Flores. He's from the New York area, born and raised. I believe he grew up as a Giants fan. That defense was sexy Dexter Lawrence, as well as Thibodeau and Abdul Qadir, plus Brian Burns. I mean, that defense is going to be really damn legit, man. Or the Bengals. I mean, Zach Taylor could run his experiment, and the defense. I mean, it's going to be gutted because of all the money they spent on offense, but you would have a quarterback in Joe Burrow in place. And Tomlin, I don't think that he would do Tomlin dirty like that because Tomlin throwing him a life preserver a couple years ago, but I guess you never know, right? And also the Steelers defense, I mean, they have some okay pieces if they're able to keep TJ in the fold. And also, this could be just a leverage play because, as we said, I mean, if he gets a head coaching job, which is obviously his goal and could come to fruition next year after the Vikings have the number one defense in the league, I mean, he could sign a $1 million contract and it really wouldn't matter. So it could be a spot where it's leverage for a pay raise and or potential control if he still has to remain a defensive coordinator. So control-wise, it could be input on free agency and the draft. Now, as Kwesi's talked about, he does have that now with the Vikings, but a more assertive role on a potentially different team. I don't think it would change things here with the Vikings, as Kevin O'Connell's personnel power did not change either, even after he signed an extension. But this all could be with eyes to go somewhere else. Now, do I think that there's any friction between Kevin O'Connell and Brian Flores? No. And frankly, O'Connell deserves a lot of credit for hiring a defense coordinator like Flores, who has a ton of head coach experience, has a lot of respect, and a young coach with a weaker ego may have gone a different direction, right? So basically, he hired a head coach for the defense, and that could split allegiances on a team, but it hasn't. And they've worked well together. They speak highly of each other. They've known each other since the New England days when Flores was a coach and O'Connell was the backup quarterback. So I don't think that there's anything there, but the business is the business, right? And also, if and when this defense dominates this year and ends up being the number one defense in the National Football League or top two, and they're not two, I mean, he's going to be highly in demand. And it would be an absolute pissant shame if he's not given a head coaching job because, oh, well, what about the lawsuit? It's a class action lawsuit. He can't just drop it by himself. What about the other coaches in the lawsuit? They never get talked about. Huh? But with Flores, like, he's a leader of men. I think that he's learned a lot here from Kevin O'Connell. I think that he's developed and grown and shown as a coach, and I think that he, despite what Tua says, like, he'll get along great with his quarterback of the future. He'll turn around that defense, and everything will be copacetic and good to go, right? But I respect that Flores and his agent are, keeping options open because that's the name of the game, and just focus on this year, take it 1 year at a time. Basically, everyone is year to year. Right, essentially, right? But if Flores ends up not getting a head coaching job, like I said, it would be just ridiculous. But then the Wills, like they're not shy about ponying up cash, and they would make Flores the highest paid coordinator in the league, and everything would be fine. But we'll see. I think as of right now, on the scale of 1 to 10, 1 being, well, 0 to 10. 0 being zero concern, 10 being a lot of concern. This is like a 0.5, somewhere in there. It'll work. Every little thing is going to be all right. It's going to work out. But your thoughts are thoughts. Could Brian Flores go free agent 2026? Let us know. Comment section. You guys are the best you know what to do. Skull Production Value.